The story of Naomi, Ruth, and Boaz in the Book of Ruth is one of the most beautiful and poignant love stories in the Bible. It is a story of loyalty, faith, and redemption, set against the backdrop of ancient Israel's customs and laws. Ruth Chapter 3 is particularly significant because it describes the pivotal moment when Ruth approaches Boaz in a gesture that ultimately leads to their marriage. Here is a detailed account of their love story as it unfolds in Ruth Chapter 3. Welcome as we read through and learn the nuggets of life. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor. But make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in, and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me I will do. And she went down unto the floor, and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly, and uncovered his feet, and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight, that the man was afraid, and turned himself. And behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followedest not young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, fear not. I will do to thee all that thou requirest. For all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman. And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman. Howbeit there is a kinsman nearer than I. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning, that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman well, let him do the kinsman's part. But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of a kinsman to thee, as the Lord liveth. Lie down until the morning. And she lay at his feet until the morning. And she rose up before one could know another. And he said, Let it not be known that a woman came into the floor. Also he said, Bring the veil that thou hast upon thee, and hold it. And when she held it, he measured 6 measures of barley, and laid it on her. And she went into the city. And when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, Who art thou, my daughter? And she told her all that the man had done to her. And she said, These 6 measures of barley gave he me, for he said to me, Go not empty unto thy mother-in-law. Then said she, Sit still, my daughter, until thou know how the matter will fall, for the man will not be in rest, until he have finished the thing this day. Naomi and Ruth. Naomi, a widow from Bethlehem, had moved to Moab with her husband and 2 sons during a famine. Her sons married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. After the deaths of her husband and sons, Naomi decided to return to Bethlehem. Ruth, her Moabite daughter-in-law, showed remarkable loyalty by choosing to accompany Naomi, famously declaring, Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Ruth 1:16. Boaz. Upon returning to Bethlehem, Ruth began gleaning in the fields of Boaz, a wealthy and kind relative of Naomi's late husband, Elimelech. Boaz noticed Ruth's hard work and devotion to Naomi, and he ensured that she was treated well and received extra grain. 1. Naomi's plan. Naomi's concern. Naomi, recognizing Boaz's kindness and his status as a kinsman redeemer, a relative who could marry a widow to preserve her deceased husband's lineage, devised a plan to secure Ruth's future. She knew that Boaz could be the key to providing Ruth with a stable and honorable life. This were teachings on how to get the attention of a man. Instructions to Ruth. Naomi instructed Ruth to wash, anoint herself with perfume, and put on her best clothes. She then told Ruth to go to the threshing floor where Boaz would be winnowing barley, but to wait until he had finished eating and drinking before making her move. Naomi advised Ruth to uncover Boaz's feet and lie down, a gesture that would signal Ruth's request for Boaz to take her under his protection as her kinsman redeemer. 2. Ruth's approach. Ruth's obedience. Ruth did exactly as Naomi instructed. Naomi had sent her for a sleepover in Boaz's house. She quietly approached Boaz while he was sleeping at the threshing floor, uncovered his feet, and lay down. The act of uncovering his feet and lying down was symbolic, indicating Ruth's submission and her request for Boaz to act as her protector and redeemer. Boaz's response. At midnight, Boaz was startled and awoke to find a woman lying at his feet. When he asked who she was, Ruth identified herself and requested, "Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family." Ruth 3:9. The phrase, "spread your garment," was a symbolic way of asking for marriage and protection. 3. Boaz's reaction. Boaz's praise for Ruth. Boaz was deeply moved by Ruth's gesture. He praised her for her kindness, noting that she did not seek out younger men, whether rich or poor. Boaz recognized Ruth's proposal as a noble act and a demonstration of her loyalty to her family and her faith in God. Boaz's commitment. Boaz expressed his willingness to fulfill the role of kinsman redeemer, but he also mentioned that there was another relative who had a closer claim to Ruth. Boaz assured Ruth that he would resolve the matter by speaking to the other relative and promised to do everything possible to ensure her security. 4. Ruth's return to Naomi. Boaz's generosity. Before Ruth left the threshing floor, Boaz provided her with 6 measures of barley as a gift for Naomi, signaling his intention to take care of them. He instructed Ruth to leave quietly before anyone could recognize her, protecting her reputation. Naomi's assurance. When Ruth returned home, she recounted everything that had happened to Naomi. Naomi, confident in Boaz's integrity, reassured Ruth to wait patiently, as Boaz would not rest until he had settled the matter. What significance does chapter 3 have in our lessons love and loyalty? Ruth. Chapter 3 highlights the themes of love, loyalty, and faithfulness. Ruth's love for Naomi and her willingness to follow Naomi's guidance show her deep loyalty and trust. Boaz's response to Ruth is characterized by kindness, respect, and a sense of duty, reflecting his honorable character. Cultural customs. The chapter also provides insight into the cultural customs, particularly the role of the kinsman redeemer and the importance of family lineage. Ruth's actions were in line with the customs of the time, and Boaz's willingness to fulfill his role as redeemer exemplifies adherence to these traditions. Dressing and makeups. Women should dress themselves beautiful to get the attention of men done by Ruth. This must be consistent with kindness and loyalty, crowned with chastity. Divine providence. The unfolding events in chapter 3 demonstrate the workings of divine providence. Ruth's journey from a Moabite widow to the wife of a prominent Israelite illustrates how God can work through ordinary people and circumstances to bring about his purposes. In conclusion, Ruth chapter 3 is a crucial turning point in the story of Naomi, Ruth, and Boaz. It illustrates the courage and faith of Ruth, the wisdom of Naomi, and the integrity of Boaz. Their interactions on the threshing floor set the stage for the eventual marriage of Ruth and Boaz, leading to the birth of Obed, the grandfather of King David, and placing Ruth in the lineage of Jesus Christ. This love story is not only a tale of romance, but also a powerful narrative of redemption, loyalty, and divine providence. Let us act responsibly when getting in a relationship and seek guidance from the mature and responsible elders. Shalom and God bless you.